Hello again, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. It is Spoot from Fort Misery Gaming. We are doing a little bit of announcement today since we just got a new notice and a step-up banner on maintenance. So that's cool. Or, well, pre-maintenance, I guess 1 a.m. stuff. So we'll take a look at that, and then I'll show you some of the units. So the first thing we want to note is that there are some power packs coming up. So these are Twilight Crystals and power-up packs. We don't exactly know what's in them, so I don't want to tell you that, like, hey, these are the best things ever, because we don't know. Once we know, I'll give you a better idea. Either me or Scuba will pop over and do it. Nightmare in the Chapel Conquest event. This is you and friends defeating, or trying to defeat, the powerful Nightmare Jormungandr. It's a Snow White Plus stage, so you get her, if you use her as a main, you get a bonus to your weapon stats. That's not going to help you, just gonna go ahead and tell you. This is a particularly difficult event. It is time limited per day. It's kind of like a guerrilla event, but it's up for 20 days. So don't feel like this is even a thing, because it's up for, excuse me, it's like 16 days, something like that. If you're in the neighborhood of like 60k plus, you might be able to clear a couple of the stages, but this one is a very, very difficult mission. And the rewards aren't really, like, that important to break your back over. Plus, you can't continue anyway, so, you know. There's only so much you can do in this stage that's even really worth considering, I guess, is what I should say. So, that out of the way, the rest of you are all about collectible assets in a gacha game. I get it. I understand. So we get Breaker Snow White and excuse me, man, I messed that all up. We get Hammer Crusher Snow White, and we also get the first job for Mermaid, who is widely considered one of the best thicky girls in the game. So there isn't a whole lot more. They don't have drop rates or who the update is or anything like that. And then we've got maintenance tonight between. So that starts for me from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. This is EST, so keep that in mind. Your time will differ. So let's look at what's new. Badang, what do we got here? These are the 3 things that are brand new in the pool. These aren't limited. You can pull these. These are common. So don't worry too much about these. So you've got the Iron Hammer of Justice, which lets you unlock the Breaker class for Snow White. Regular stuff, it deals great physical damage to 1-2 enemies. Its Coliseum support is you can moderately increase your own physical attack. So it's got kind of a temp buff on it. Stats are meh. It's not great. So at level, max level on SS and L, or SR and L, you're looking at like 3,700 and 5,600, just shy of 5,650. These weapons get power creeped pretty quick, although this is her gun hammer, so it does look cool. I don't know if it's just worth it, though. Like, if you are trying to main Breaker or Crusher, and you absolutely need one of these, like, maybe? I'm not 100% sure. This is the Sword of Sorrow. This is Mermaid's first job. It is an S, so it only goes to an SR. Stats on it are kind of mediocre. Starts at 2,300, ends at 3k during an SR. This is one of the first weapons that has Life Leech on it, so it's kind of cool. It doesn't recover a lot, though, so not crazy. Physical attack support, same thing. You have a chance to buff your own attack. It's okay. It's not the best, but if you want Mermaid as your main breaker, that's who you go to. Who I will show in a second. I'll give you the stats. I just want to go through the banner first. Eris, Avatar of Gluttony. She's actually decent. I don't know if I would chase her, because like her max stats are about 7k, and some of you should be rolling those, what is it? You should be rolling the Royal Metal Nightmares. That's what they are. The big deal here is her ability is kind of crazy. So she reduces the SP cost of all skills, so like all of your weapons go down in cost, so you can bang out a lot more of them before you run out. Legendary is so regular story takes 10 seconds to proc and takes 20 seconds for the duration. Coliseum is 70 seconds to proc, 110 seconds for the duration, and then it's 10, 20, and 60, 120 on Legendary. Although she does bump up the amount reduced from greatly to massively. I believe it's a different percentage. But she's okay. Like, she's not bad. Don't chase her. Like, just don't do that. Like, if she's rate up, it's 0.66%, and if she's not rate up, it's 0.034. So, yeah, don't do that. Like, if you grab her on the first... If you're just like, hey, I'm going to throw some money down the hole and be like, sure, let's pull one or two of these. Yeah, absolutely. Like, grab one or two, it's fine. Like, I might pull one or two because I still need some SR instruments. I am dog poopy on instruments. But don't go chasing anything on here. It's a little different. So let's yank up the jobs. So we are looking at Snow White Crusher. Decent outfit. And it's not the gun hammer, that is Cindy's. This one's just sort of the Queen of Hearts hammer, which is fine. It's decent enough. It doesn't look too awful. I'm not too worried about it, but she has, you know, sort of your standard stats. Like, she's going to give you 30, 40, 50, 60% on hammer attack and effects. Up to level 10. And then once you get her 11 or 12, you get the extra 200 physical attack. That's pretty good. And then once you get more Arcanas, you can get more and more. But, like, don't worry about anything past 10. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you can only go up to 12 right now, I believe, in-game. So don't be too concerned with it. Very physical. You'll notice there is no mag defense. There is no mag attack. This is all physical attack and defense for the most part. So if you're going in Crusher or Breaker, it's a good job to have because the extra common stats really add up over time. And that's pretty much it for Crusher. Like, if you really, really want Snow White Crusher, especially with the Nier banner being 9 days away... 7 days, I guess, at this point. What is it, Wednesday? Yeah. I guess you could. And we know we're getting the Replicant banner at the beginning of August, so... sort of plan accordingly. Like, they're fairly free-to-play generous. Like, you're going to get 3 or 4 pulls a month if you really, really want it. Maybe it's closer to 5 or 6 if you're doing Coliseum. But, like, don't chase weapons that aren't that great. And neither one of these are particularly impressive. Obviously, unless you really want Mermaid. This is not my favorite outfit from her. Me and Zant had a very long live stream last night where we just sort of dove down into a lot of these characters' upcoming outfits and stuff, so... And since this is an S weapon, jobs don't have rarities, but they do have particular stats. Like, you'll notice, like, her physical attack up says 75 instead of 100 of 100. So what that means is, like, the free gotcha jobs give you, like, 25 to 50. The S-rank gotcha jobs give you, like, 50 to 75, and then the really premium gotchas, like the SRs, usually give you about 100. And then some of the paid ones give you a little more, but, like, those aren't... I wouldn't be too worried about that. Like, the Red Riding Hood Cleric is probably not worth buying unless you really, really like Red Riding Hood. And also, you know, clerics. So, same thing. Up until 10, you get 60% on area, 10% on story and colo, so it's fine. A lot of physical defense, she's not really heavy on attack on this one, but you do get some extra HP out of her. So just regular standard for Breaker. You're not too worried about it. So unless you're chasing... Hello, cat. Unless you're chasing, like, Mermaid to have the first waifu possible, I wouldn't put a whole lot of effort into it. It's fine, but it's not great. The other half is the Nightmare in the Chapel. They don't have the... I was looking at the event, and I can't actually find it on here. So I thought it was one of these, but I also don't speak Japanese, and I don't know what the banner's going to look like for it, so I don't know what the event looks like. I'm sorry! It's Jormungandr, so it should be this guy, I believe. But they don't have... There's nothing... Like, all the old events they don't have up, so that's the only downside. So that's pretty much it for the news for the day. So easy enough, very easy to get. If you guys have any questions, leave them. I'm working with Zant a lot to get a lot of the event reviews kind of up. So if there's a particular event you guys are interested in that's coming up, you know, leave us a message or anything. Other than that, you know, enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, give us a holler if there's anything else you want to hear about, and don't get miserable.